This is an input box in AppLab on code.org. You can make the value that's typed into an input box change any element on a screen. For example, here I'm using it to change a picture based on what you type in here. I'm going to walk you through how to do that starting from nothing. That's GameLab, that's not what I need. Here we go. AppLab. So the first thing you want to do is start a new project. You can find AppLab under the Create tab here at the top. And then we're going to start by laying everything out in design mode. First we need a text input box. We need a submit button at the bottom. I'm going to make that say submit and give it the ID submit underscore btn. And just so it's a different color than the run button, I'm going to change that color. The last element we need is an image block, and we want that to be where things show up when we click. And then I'll just line those up a little bit, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, in the code now, what we need to do is say whenever that button is clicked, so on event, submit button gets clicked, we want to do several things. The first thing we want to do is make a variable. And that variable is going to hold whatever the user types. So variable input value equals whatever they type, we need to get that value. So under UI controls, we need a get property. Here it is. And we need to get the text inputs value. And then just to make sure that that's working the way we want it to, let's console log and test that it's showing up. So we're going to console log, and I'm taking off the quotes here so it registers as a variable input value. So now if I did that right, I should be able to type anything in here, bunny, and click submit, and I should be able to see it right down here. That worked, and let's try another one, heart, and that worked. So it is putting that input value, whatever's here, inside this variable. So then we should say if the value is a heart, then display a heart. So let's do that really quickly. We'll grab an if, and that's still going to be inside. Now if the input value is equal to heart, so if they type heart, then we want to set the property of the image. So I'm going to grab a set property. We have this invisible image thing here. We're going to set the images image to, and here I'm going to hide my toolbar so I can see the rest of this. And now we need to choose. You could pull your own, but I'm just going to grab one of these icons. And I'm not immediately seeing, there it is. We'll do this heart. So let's reset it and see if that works. So if the user types heart, got to spell it right, and click submit, a heart shows up. Now this bit of code right here that I'm trying to highlight, let's try it again. This if statement, it is the part that is checking for some value. So if you want to check for more than just a heart, you can just Control-C, copy that, and come down here and Control-V another one. So let's pick another image. Maybe we'll do moon. So if the value is moon, it's going to do that. Let's test that one. Heart, submit, moon, submit. So that's working just fine, and then we'll add maybe one more before we start tweaking things. So I'll highlight that, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, and now I just need to go pick a new image. We'll do taxi. So if the user types taxi. So those three are working. Now watch what happens though if I type heart with a capital H and click submit. See, nothing happens, which is kind of a problem. You would hope that it would accept either one of those. So what we can do So back in our code, we can manipulate the variable before we check. So what we can do is say input value equals whatever they typed in to lowercase input value. So take whatever they typed in, make it all lowercase, and then check. So if we reset that, now you could type it in all caps, and it would still work. You could type just part of it in caps, and it would still work. The other thing you'll notice is when I have to switch between each one, I'm having to backspace the text out. You might not want to bother doing that, so what you could do is whenever it puts a new image up there, to clear out the old text. And the way you'll do that is just with another set property inside. And this time we want to set the text inputs text to just empty quotes. Let's try that. So I'll do heart. When I submit, it clears the box out for me. Now I can do the next one. So since that's working, I'm going to copy that, paste it into the other two ifs, so that it also works when it places a moon and a taxi. Okay, so that's working. Now the last thing I want to do before I finish this video up is a submit button is okay, but you might want to just make it where when they click out of this box it submits, or when they hit enter. And right now that's not happening. Like if I type taxi and hit enter, nothing happens until I click. So if you want to design it that way, you could just get rid of the button completely. And then you could say whenever the text input field changes. And if you do it that way, hit run. Then after you type it, if you just hit enter, it'll pop up. Or if you click out of the box, it'll pop up.